when I have this feeling and I turn around and I go to my friends or my girl or to my booker and say, today was the best show of my life. And then they tell me, say, but you told me the same last weekend. No, I have that very often because when I have the feeling of pure connection to the crowd, then for me, this is the golden moment. It's a safe heaven, right? Like where your home is, where your heart is.
Yeah.
And this is what I follow actually. The moment came closer and closer, and I started to say, I was like the one in the wedding, white, purple, green, almost fading away.
Join the journey, stay for a while.
Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of KohPhanCast, the official podcast of Copenhagen Island. And honestly, it's crazy the size of the guests that I've been getting lately. But if I will stop and ponder on it too much, I'm going to probably freak out and not do this anymore. So I'm just running with it. So thank you to each and every one of you that is staying with me, that is here. If you mind, for me, for your old friend, come on, like this video, subscribe to the channel, share in the comments what you thought about the conversation. And let's get into it. This week with me, Chris, D-Nox. With a career of 35 years behind him, festivals, parties, this guy has done everything. From Germany, Israel, Brazil, all over the world. Being a DJ, a music producer, first of all, a father, the manager of Sprout record label. This guy has done everything, and honestly, this energy is just incredible. Guys, D-Nox, KohPhanCast, the official podcast of Copenhagen Island. Enjoy the episode. Chris, thank you so much for being here with me, man.
It was a nice, spontaneous thing, right?
Yeah.
I didn't know I was coming here until yesterday.
I didn't know you were coming here till yesterday also, and I was in the event that you played it, which was great, and I was like standing next to Omri, and I was like, do you think Chris will wanna do it? And he's like, Chris a talker, he's gonna do it. And I'm like, fuck yeah, let's do it.
And we need content, right?
Yeah, who doesn't need content?
And they have lots to say.
Honestly, maybe even the need for content, we're jumping straight into it. Maybe even the need for content is a little bit too broad these days, you know, because, okay, I'm going to do it and then I'm going to introduce.
No, you're right. Let me take off my socks because we are here in Thailand, in Koh Phangan, which is an island.
Yes, people like to fit here.
Tropical island. And if the German comes with his socks, it looks a bit weird. So now I look like Mr. Holiday. Content. I probably spent 80% of my creative time thinking about what is going to be the next content, how to create content, or how to use content that I have been already created.
It's so like the spotlight used to be on the music,
right? On
the creation, on your ability to just be good at what you're doing. But if these days you need to be your social media manager and your booker and your whatever it is out there, like, when do you make music?
Yeah, I mean, in first place, I'm a DJ. Second place, I am a producer. Third place, I run a record label. I used to have a booking agency. I used to make my own events, which... Then I'm a father, of course. I should mention I'm father in first place.
Yeah,
but
honestly.
You know, yeah, but music always has been the thing for me. So, sorry.
Yeah. Guys, D-Nox, 30 years, 35 years of career, endless amounts of releases of, you know, content, on top of content, on top of content. From Germany, living in Brazil.
I live in Brazil. 7 years I live in Brazil now. I live in the state of Sao Paulo. Before that, I used to live 3 years in Argentina, which is where my daughter lives with her mother. And I was born in East Germany in the year 75. And 6 weeks before the wall came down in November 89, my parents decided to escape from the east to the west. So we basically lost everything. We had to climb the wall, look for a place how to jump to the other side. And then my parents and me, my brother, we started a new life in the city of Düsseldorf. Düsseldorf is a capital of a state in Germany, next to Cologne. And Düsseldorf is known for its electronic or his music culture and history. Kraftwerk, for those that don't know, the band, the German band Kraftwerk is from Düsseldorf. So Düsseldorf has already had was already influenced by electronic music in the 70s and 80s. And of course, when the techno wave swapped over from the USA and from England and from the USA in the late 80s, it also hit Germany very strong and Düsseldorf. And I just made it to Düsseldorf. I was 13. Then I became 14, teenager. And
music was always there for you.
Yes. Because in East Germany, we didn't have the opportunity to buy music in record stores or nowhere. And my father, he inherited me a tape recorder, and I was recording music from the radio from the west, from West Germany, from the capitalist side. We were living 30 kilometers from the border, so we could reach the frequency. And I was recording the music in the radio, and I was collecting music, and I was growing a collection. And when I got like 12, 13, by that age, they used to call me to play music in school parties in my school. I was the only guy who had music from the West on tape in my city to be played.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's what they say. And it was a small city of 10,000 people.
Well, it's still something. You know?
But I was already there recording music and collecting music and trying to separate what is what and what music to play in which moment and all of that. And then we escaped, as I just said, a few months later, and I arrived to the west side of Germany, and then they had these stores full of CDs and records and Coca-Cola and everything you can imagine. And for me, it was like, it was the moment that changed everything in my life. Yeah, and then of course the age 14, 15 is when you start to have interest, not only in playing football with your friends, but also maybe girls going out, teenager parties here and there. And again, I was the guy who they asked me to play music. And then from there, the first nightclubs, we start to fake our IDs to get in. The age with 15 to get in with 6, to pretend to be 16.
They do it everywhere.
Yeah, we do that I think in Israel it's easier because the numbers, it's all the same, right?
The numbers are all the same.
No, but
you're going to have to explain this joke for me.
No, it's not.
Right. Because it flew over my head.
You write the same numbers. It's only the alphabet which is different, no?
We write the same numbers.
Arabic numbers, no?
Yeah.
But for those that don't know, our numbers, 1, 2, 3, these are Arabic numbers.
Seriously?
Yes. Because before we used to use Roman numbers, which is like
the one with
1 line, 2 lines, 3 lines.
Yeah.
4, 5, 6, and then again 10.
So you tell me that 1, 2, 3, 4 is Arabic.
Sorry to... Yeah.
Honestly...
You don't care, I know.
I couldn't care less.
Yeah.
Like, those are my numbers, and they were promised to me 3,000 years ago, okay? So, those are my numbers.
Yeah. And I'm sure before the Romans came to Germania in 2,000 years ago, the Germans there didn't even know how to write. They were hitting with their heads on the trees.
Probably.
Yeah, barbaric, when they look like Vikings.
So you're faking your IDs to go into parties, to play in the parties.
And then I saw a DJ. The first time I saw a DJ, the guy hidden in the corner, and he was playing the music that he thought that is the right music to be played in the moment. And all the others had to dance. So often the girls came to ask the boy to dance, or the next song, it was the boy who had to go to ask the girl to dance. And I was always too shy for that.
Yeah.
So I said, I better go to the corner and play my music.
I better be there.
And hide. I don't need to dance.
Yeah.
No, so this is how I got into that. And then, some years later, The first clubs, techno clubs, were already there, but there was a new one that opened, was called Poison Club in Düsseldorf on the central station, huge club. And on the opening night, I was there sitting on the entrance with my friend who was working on the entrance on the Kashi, charging the people to get in. And the owner came down. It was already in the morning and said, "Man, the guest DJ, he's killing the dance floor. We need another DJ." And he asked the guy working in the Kashi, who was my friend. And my friend looked at me and said, "How long do you take to get your records here?" And I look at him and said, 20 minutes, I'll be back. So I got a taxi, went home, came back with my records. I played that day, the opening day of that club. And from that moment on, I never stopped playing, which was in 1994. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Do you remember the first track, like even before that? The one that got you into the game.
Yeah.
Like, what is this? I want to do it.
Yeah. It was Moby Go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I changed school from the 9th to the 10th grade. And the first guy who I met, Marian, a guy from Yugoslavia, ex-Yugoslavia, he came to me and said, "Listen to this tape." We only had tapes back then. And because I was into rock music, 80s music and rock music, and he said, "This is called techno. Listen to this." And I listened to it, and the first song on the tape was that song from Moby Go. Very famous. You know this, probably.
I know this, yeah.
And for those that don't know, Google Moby Go. Tune.
It made this thing?
No.
Yeah. No.
That was the track. It gives me the chills until today. If I listen to this track, everything comes back. 33 years of history and memories is crazy. Yeah.
33 years. Yeah. You know, it's not even
92.
92. I was born in 94. Okay. You started DJing 2 years before
I was already, I don't consider myself being a DJ when I was playing with my cassettes, but this was already in 89.
Yeah.
Which is now 36 years ago.
Oh, wow.
But no, the first money I got paid was around 93, but that track I heard in 92, and this is when I got from playing 80s music into techno music. Yeah. And then my first residency I got in 94. And then
feels like music called you. It's like when someone is doing something for this long, I look at it as like, okay, so you're a vessel, you're a channel. There's an energy that is going from somewhere to people through you. You know, can you recall like situation that you felt like, oh wow, like I don't even need to try doing what I'm doing because it is what it is. You know, I was meant for this.
I was born for this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I truly believe this. This is the only thing I know how to do, besides spaghetti carbonara and party.
Which means that your spaghetti carbonara should be very good, huh?
No, I truly believe. I was born in the family of musicians. My father used to have a band. All his brothers, they play instruments. And I was too lazy to study playing guitar and that. But that thing with the music, the DJ thing, that saved me and still left me inside the music. There was always music around before me, when I was born, after I was born, and until now. And the DJ thing, I truly believe that not everyone can be a DJ because, as you just said, you need to have something that calls you.
Yeah.
That you can...
to get to a certain kind of level, you know, because when you need to dedicate yourself into one thing in this amount of time and like it consumes you, you know, you cannot have it your second priority and still get to this level of success, to this level of dedication. You gotta be, you know, just sacrifice everything else for this. Did you ever feel like it was maybe burden or something on you to that? Never, huh? It was just being there on the decks.
Couple of minutes ago when I mentioned the most important things in my life, I mentioned music to be the number one thing, even before mentioning my own child. It sounds weird, and I still apologize for that, but it is, and it always has been like that. I always have chosen music in first place before my relations, my girlfriends, my child, my parents, my friends, everything.
And it cannot work in any, like, and it can work, but not to this level. You know? And okay, starting from the clubs of Düsseldorf, Like, when did you start seeing it's picking up? When, like, festivals, bigger venues, like, when did you see that the momentum, this force is going around you?
Yeah, so it took me basically 10 years from 94 to 2004 that I understood that I had to produce music. Those first 10, 11 years, I was only playing as a DJ. I was playing a lot, but in my city, in the city next to my city. And sometimes I was invited to play in Austria, which is a country next to Germany, or in Holland, in Netherlands. But I never traveled far. And I met Beckers. He had a project called Space Safari. It was actually halfway into psytrance, him. And he was from the city next to mine. And he was a bit down. He had some bad experience with the record label. And he was like not into making music anymore. And I picked up on him. I said, look, Frank, we need to try. Let's make something together. My music is different. And I come from different surrounding. Because he was playing Wolf Experience, Fusion Festival, those events in Germany. And I came from the club scene. And then he said, okay, we give it one try. That was in 2004. We released the track on my record label, Sprout Music. And
Sprout Music?
Sprout.
I'm going to put it here.
And then from that moment on, when the track came out, the telephone didn't stop ringing anymore. And he saw that. Of course, it was good for him. It was good for me. It was good for us. But it was also good for some places, some countries in the world which were maybe stuck into one direction of sound, but they were needing at that right moment something new. So, for example, we came to Brazil in 2005. And when we arrived in Brazil, there was only psytrance. Not only, but
mostly.
Let's say 90%. Nobody has ever had heard of progressive house. There was a bit of drum and bass and techno and psytrance. Big festivals, Experience, Tribe, Universal Paralelo started it already. And so we came there with that sound, and people said, man, they call us the king of low BPM. They didn't even have a name for our music. Which is good, because we also don't have a name for it, because we make the music we like. We don't sit in the studio and say, okay, we make progressive house.
Exactly.
So we considered be pioneer in Brazil, also in Mexico. It happened in Japan, also in Australia. A few countries, like key countries, that then they always started to book us over and over again. And we shaped the psytrance scene with our sound, which now, after all these years, the result is that they have a second floor on those psytrance festivals. Before was only one stage. Now they have an alternative stage. Not all, but many. Like Boom Festival has an Alchemy.
For me, honestly, the more the year progresses, the main floor are getting less and less relevant for me specifically. There's so many, even the word genres, like you say, I'm not going into my studio thinking, oh, let's make progressive house. Oh, let's make techno. I'm making what I like. What do you think is this human behavior of us needing to fit a name into something? Oh, this is techno. Oh, no, this is minimal, dark, progressive guys, it's good music or not?
Exactly. If it's good music, it's good. And if it's bad, then it's bad. And this is how I select. And if you give me 5 hours to play, you will hear all kinds of genres.
Yeah. So what do you think it is in us that makes us want to go like, this is this box and this is that box? I think it's kind of a human behavior.
Yeah, maybe this is something many of us have inside us. We are like this when we speak about religion, culture, fashion, haircuts. I don't know. We always see that if something is trending, for example, many people jump on that, and then you see people doing the same kind of dance for some years, or they wear the same kind of clothes. I don't know.
Yeah,
people like to think in boxes.
Yeah, thinking box. I think it's come from like this place of
the time when people used to live in caves, maybe.
either this or
Box,
like
okay.
us
No.
being vulnerable
Yeah.
by being by ourselves.
Yeah.
So we just want to fit. So the moment we have a name
Follow
to
tribe.
connect something,
Belong to someone.
yeah, I know what it is. I'm familiar with it. I'm comfortable. You know, like our need to always be comfortable and just know what's going on. I think it's both good and bad. It keeps us alive, but it's kind of boring.
And probably I am like this too a little bit in some
All of
point.
us.
I never really thought about it, but yeah, I mean, this is a very philosophic topic.
That's what we're doing here, bro. That's what we're doing here.
And it's interesting, but I think humans have this already in the genetic, right? We always, yeah. I mean, religion is the best example.
Yes, it is.
People since many thousand years, some decide to chase this God and some decide to chase this God and some decide,
Yeah. But at the end of the day, as I see it, if we already got inside religion, let's do it. Like, we are all looking for the exact same thing with a different name. You know, we are all looking for the key that we think will open our door. But at the end of the day, the door for all of us, I think, is the same. But the way we depict the door and we explain the door to ourselves changes. You know, because at the end of the day, we all want to be hugged and we all want to be loved. And we all like, no, you can touch me, bro. It's all good.
We're touching our feet.
So at the end of the day, we all just want to be a part of something.
Yeah.
You know, we all just want to feel valued. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
That's why I touch his feet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Beautiful. The thing I wanted to ask you, like, you explored Brazil and everything before you got to live there, right? Or like...
No, yeah, for sure. I decided to move.
Your Portuguese
Yes,
is so good.
That when you hear me speaking Portuguese, you think I'm Brazilian.
Honestly, yeah.
Yes, okay.
It felt like I've watched some like big artists from this these locations, and you know, you sound like the last Portuguese.
Is this the vodka I requested?
Yes, it is with the fentanyl.
Not the last time.
Best water ever, man. Yes, you can feel yourself getting alive. It's good. So we're going. Okay, what was the first big festival that you played
in Brazil, or not? Let's say the
was it already with Beckers?
The game changer was 2003 for me, playing as D-Nox alone at WOOF Festival on Sunday afternoon. The last DJ set on that stage that I played. I remember I had hair still. I was wearing a green t-shirt. I was playing CD on CD1 Pioneer 100. I remember the sun was hitting so strong that we had to create with the cases of the CD players some shade. I remember that the people connected to my sound. I don't know why, but they did for that wild house sound, progressive, wild, chunky. I even played deep dish and stuff like this on the WOOF experience. I have a video. This is, I think it's even on YouTube. D-Nox 2003 WOOF experience. Really bad quality, but you see that there is a dance floor of 10,000 people.
I'm going to put it right here.
Vroom, vroom, vroom. And then you see a guy appearing, coming to me, doing like this. A guy with longer hair than me. And he said, "You have to shut down the music now." I said, "Why?" And they said, "Because the Hells Angels are here."
Oh, shit.
I said, "What are they doing?" "They're taking the bar."
Oh, no.
"They're breaking the bar." I said, why would they do this?" "Because they're asking for their money."
It's so innocent. Why would they do this?
Yeah, I didn't get it. I was playing. I didn't even know what was a Hells Angel. I saw something good. Yeah.
Police.
No, he was pointing over to the bar, and I saw some, don't know, you know, the guys from, and it was a thing in Germany in the 90s. You had to sell your security to a group of or Hells Angels or maybe people from Albania or I don't know, some organization.
A group of security. Yeah?
Yes, they they offer you protection, and if you don't pay them, then they make sure they get their money in another way.
Yeah.
Like a movie.
And it was at the beginning of the set, towards the
No,
end?
it was almost, I think it was just missing maybe 20 minutes, half an hour, yeah. But in that moment, I did not want to finish. I had the dance floor in my hand.
How many people were there?
The Wu Festival was known to have 15, 20,000 people. In 2003, it was the peak of Wu Festival.
Oh, wow. And you were how old?
2000, I was 26, 27.
26-year-old boy standing there in front of 15,000 people. What's the feeling like?
The feeling. Actually, the feeling is not much different than if I would play, as I did the other day, for 300, 400 people. Or
It's a good PR question, answer.
No, because I am nervous anyway, anytime. And I don't see a difference in my responsibility.
Yeah.
Of course, you're even more nervous when the dance floor is bigger. All you need to do is you need to play the first 2-3 songs. You need to make sure that the gear works the way you like, the sound is the way you like, and then you just have to do what you know how to do. But then I was already playing 10 years. So I had some skills already. I had confidence. And it's just the first moment that usually when it's an important event and I get really nervous, last half an hour before playing, I cannot speak.
Yeah.
So this is more my moment. But once I get on stage, something happens to me. Someone turns switch a button, and then I become D-Nox. And then
It's crazy how everybody says the same. Like I had him, like Grouch, Simon Posford. Like everybody says that they're all nervous, but the moment you get up there, and as a DJ myself, also I had a couple sets. So yeah, the moment you press play, something happens. Do you think it's an alter ego kind of thing? Do you think it's just because you need to run? Did you ever think about the way you think towards this kind of things? Like,
I never really figured out why I am like this, but I know, for example, that I have huge problems to pick up a microphone. My parents, they just had 50 years of marriage.
Oh, wow.
And it was the moment for me to give a speech in front of 120 people. I couldn't sleep for 2 weeks. Yeah, and the moment came closer and closer, and I started to say, I was like the one in the wedding, white, purple, green, almost fading away. And these kind of things, they take so much from me. Then I've asked myself, but you can go every weekend on stage and you play in front of thousands of people, and you don't have that. Why is that? Where?
Because they are far
different. So I didn't really figure out why I'm like so different on that. The speech was good actually, but yeah.
I think it has something to do with the fact that at the end of the day, it's you and the decks, and they are kind of far. Like at a certain level of you playing for people, it's no longer like an outdoor 100 people, 50 people that you see them all, like stages like Boom, like Fusion, like Wolf, they are there doing their own thing. You are there doing your own thing. Like it's getting kind of separated the more people are there, isn't it?
Yeah, I was drifting away now, thinking of something completely different.
What did you think about?
Yeah, well, because I was still analyzing your question before. And I think one of the reasons why I never wanted to get married was that not to pass that moment of being the one in front, in church or in people, speaking, showing myself, giving something away from myself which I cannot control, I thought.
Yeah.
And it's just starting to become something clear here. I think it's going to be a sleepless night for me. Yeah, analyzing.
Thank you.
Maybe is there a shrink somewhere near?
Yeah.
Or is it you too?
Probably it is me. Yeah. Usually I'm taking this role.
No, I would like to understand that better, but I always had a fear really to show up myself in a private family events, weddings, birthday, giving speeches. I was always sneaking out. Yeah.
So I am the same, like not with speeches. Yeah, I can talk in front of, I don't care. But the thing is, like, do you think it's something about not being able to control the situation that you are in? Or maybe it's anxiety, maybe I'm gonna mess up or whatever. But at situation like that, what I like to question myself is, what's the worst thing that can happen?
Yeah, you're right.
But
I had that already in school. I remember when I came into class and I had to read something that maybe I didn't understand or I read wrong and people start laughing, I became always red. Or when it was my birthday and nobody was saying anything, and then when everyone was in classroom, they opened the board and it was written happy birthday, or then everybody was singing. I was brushing too,
So that sounds like something that is like trauma experience.
Yeah. And I remember when I was a child, I was going to a bingo or some tombola, and my number was the main prize to pick up a bicycle.
Oh, wow.
And I was too shy to go to front.
Take the bicycle.
I ran out of the place and left the bicycle there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
And I carry this with me since ever. And that's why I also always said, man, I cannot imagine to go and marry in front of people.
Just you and her standing there, everybody's looking
at
at
the beach in KohPhanCast, maybe. No, but yeah, it sounds so weird. But then in the end, on the other side, I go to play. But when I play, I feel I can hide still. Even I know I cannot hide, but I can at least occupy myself with all the things I have to do.
Up there, you're D-Nox. Over there at the altar, you're Chris. Yeah. There's a difference. Something about, I know a lot of very introverted people that became super huge extroverted DJs because of this, again, alter ego thing, because over there, they don't know you as Chris. They don't know your anxiety. They don't know your trauma. They just know that your music is good. And by you doing the same thing for 35 years, you've basically mastered it. So doing this thing is your comfort zone. So by you playing those festivals, you are in your comfort zone. So you made, as an introverted people, correct me if I'm wrong, as an introverted person, you made the bubble of your comfort zone, playing parties, and all the rest is out of your comfort zone. But over there it is, which is super interesting to me.
I also never took my parents to any of my events.
Your parents never seen you play?
Never.
Wow. That's also interesting. And you think...
And it has also something to do with that,
Yeah.
Showing something from me that I might not be able to please them, or I don't know, something from you, might be something traumatic.
Yeah, but these years, people tend to think that the word trauma straight away brings negativity.
No. Yeah, but
it is what it is. I believe that we are all, we are the result of our experiences, because we brought nothing unique to the table. At the end of the day, life shaped us however it wanted. And the only thing that is truly original and authentic is how we choose to react to it. So the more you collect experiences and the more you try yourself in this environment and in this environment, that's the only way your personality is actually developing. And it happens like endless, like any circumstance can change whatever was before. And I don't even know where I'm going with this point, but just nothing you said is weird. Nothing you said is out of the ordinary. It's just how life made us be, and how clear are we with ourselves to let ourselves change based on analyzing those experiences.
I met a new girl in my life, and we were sitting talking about the fact that I never took my parents to any of my events, or I never showed them a video of my work. I never showed them those videos on YouTube and she said, why not? And then I kind of let go, and I even got emotional in that moment, and I understood how weird it actually was that I never did that. But then she said, you know what, do me a favor, send your mother some videos, even if it's only in WhatsApp, and tell her, look, this is my work, this is what I do. So I start to do the next days. I sat down, I was looking for some nice HD videos.
You needed to look for it?
No, I mean, I didn't want to center the video from a dark club where you don't see it. I wanted to center the
something
video
suitable
from Boom Festival or from some place in
something in
Brazil
the afternoon,
that also she can see it's me and not only strobo light.
Yeah.
So I sent her a couple of videos and she said, man, so nice and all this. And it's like, wow, the feedback was so easy and so good.
So were you afraid of the feedback? Did you have...
No, but look, I do this since I was a teenager. And of course, there's a time when you get a little older, teenager, 15, 16, 17, you do things which are maybe prohibited to do.
Yeah.
Or things you start to smoke cigarettes or the things and you hide it from your parents.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And you go even further from smoking cigarette and weed, maybe somewhere else. And you hide And so for me, the whole thing, the nightlife, the techno music, everything that belongs together, I was trying to hide from them because it had this bad image. And also, didn't want to let my parents know that I was smoking a cigarette. I don't smoke, but I used to smoke, or got drunk or high or whatsoever. Yeah. For me, it was like, so they don't need to know that.
Yeah.
So that's why I excluded the whole thing for 33 years from them. I didn't want.
They never asked for any video on
because
please, what are you doing in your life?
No, they knew. I mean, of course. They knew where I was going to. They see my my balance, my bank sheet, because they arrived in my father's house, and so now they know I'm in good hands. I have my career and that, but I never show them me myself. Maybe they went already in the internet looking for it.
Probably.
Yes,
33 years.
They're 70 years old. Maybe they're not the best in the internet, but also not stupid. So, resulting all of that, I showed them the videos. The feedback was super nice. Now my heart is open.
Yeah.
I will not tell them what I did in the parties, of course. They don't need to know. Yeah. Maybe they will see this podcast. But I'm going to say, this year, Carnival in Germany. Carnival is a thing in Germany, not only in Brazil, where people go to events and they use costumes. They dress. They change.
Yeah.
So usually you go as a pirate or as a whatever, as a woman or as whatever. You've come costume like you have in Purim.
Exactly.
In this year, my father, he sent me a picture. As what he went as D-Nox.
Oh, that's so wholesome.
I will show you, man.
Please do, and I'm gonna put the picture here. Also.
No, you share the picture. It's crazy, man.
I love this. I love how this is going. It's very intimate. I love those kind of conversations.
So this guy you see here is my mother and my father. Look what he's wearing.
Oh, it looks like you. Wait, I'm gonna try do something like, look at this, and I'm gonna put it right here. Oh, that's beautiful. And how does that feel? It's so wholesome.
Yeah, of course. What a nice compliment.
Yeah.
And I was hiding 33 years, the whole stories from that, and the result of what just happened after I was talking to my girlfriend is that my father going as D-Nox or as a DJ, and he's wearing headphones, he's having a cap, he made himself a beard, my shirt,
That's so cool. That's so cool. So wholesome. And yeah, that shows you and everybody that the demon is never as bad as we think it is, because the human mind tends to go to the worst case scenario, to what will happen if I'm going to fail, what will happen if nobody is going to like what I'm doing,
exactly.
What's going to happen if nobody's going to love me, or I'm going to, I don't know.
Exactly.
Why is it so hard to shift it to the other side, which says, what happened if it's going to be the best thing I've ever done? What's going to happen if it's going to turn out better than I expected? Yeah. What's going to happen if I'm going to try? Okay, I might fail. No problem. But at least I tried. Don't you want to close those circles inside of you that says like, oh, I don't know what will happen. So you can either go with the fear of not knowing what's going to happen, or just allow yourself to explore, to fail, because I don't know, with you, definitely with me, the biggest and most important lesson I've learned was failures. Has been me just being vulnerable and trying, because if I stay in this hard guy kind of character and no, I know what I'm doing and everything is good, like, where are we going to go with this? People like vulnerability. People like authenticity. People like when somebody that knows himself just is able to speak his truth, and I think you have a lot of it. And I think, like, when you have this long career and you meet so many different kind of people that, like, in our environment, the party, the events, there's a lot of different kind of amazing people that are super just clear with themselves and yours, and there are the other side. Yeah, that some people are not the best, but you can learn so many lessons from people in this environment. Do you remember an encounter with someone that you deeply appreciated that changed your perspective on things? Like a tip that you got, or like a meeting that changed the way you think about things. It doesn't have to be the biggest. Yeah, I'm gonna make you think, bro.
Yeah, no, I have to dig deep. No, let's not go too far. Beckers was a very important encounter in my life. Not only as a producer, but also as a human being, because I saw him, and I met with him a person who is the most pacific and calm, down to earth person. In every situation, he only first, before he judges, he analyzes, and he tries to think it over and just not lose himself into bad vibes, or so. He's always smooth operator. In 20 years 21 years that we run our project together, we have never had a fight.
Which is thing that I wanted to ask you about.
For a band or for a group.
Yeah.
We never,
21 years.
21 years, and he has never screamed at me or become loud or yelled at me or said anything bad, no swearing, nothing. And this is something that I tend very easily, quickly to lose my patience.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I would never imagine.
Yeah. I have that especially when I travel and when I miss some things on the road, when I have 3 gigs in a row and I come home and I can be grumpy to the people at home if dinner is not on table or something like that, for example. Yes, but I got better because of the encounter with Beckers that showed me that I don't need to be like that.
Yeah, the moment you have someone to mirror you and to show you ways that you suddenly have a perspective. Oh, I can treat things differently, but that can only work if you are open for this kind of change. And this credit goes to you. You being able to look at different people and be vulnerable enough to be like, oh, maybe that way will do me better than how I go, which is a lesson to everybody out there, that evolution is to look at others and learn from mistake. You don't need to go through a mistake in order to learn from a mistake.
Exactly. And then the other important encounter recently is Fabiana, that showed me that I can also do my unroutine life, traveling and playing, but still have a certain routine and take care of my health. Diet, exercise.
Super important.
And so I since 6 weeks, 6 months more or less that I know her, I started to lose almost 10 kilos. I stopped drinking. I look after what I eat, and I also try whenever I can, even if I travel, to work out. So yesterday, first day in KohPhanCast, I went to the gym with Aaron, ask him to take me out. We had an ice bath, sauna,
very
worked
good.
out. So probably tomorrow will be the things I have never done before. Because usually when I arrive in the city far away, tired, jet lag, you get to the hotel. Yeah. What do? You stay in bed.
Yeah, exactly. And it's so important also for someone that is in your atmosphere that, like in seconds, we've seen so many people, like abusing alcohol and drugs and not moving the rest. Yeah. And like, it's so easy in this kind of realm when you're basically a product for some people out there.
Yeah.
So, we can shove 4 gigs in 3 different countries in one weekend, and you can run from this, there, and some people will take drugs to keep them alive in those kind of, but the exact same rush that you get from drugs, you can get from actually treating yourself right, from eating good things, from the dopamine is the same dopamine coming out in a different way.
I have to say, I feel better than ever, or at least since a very long time.
Yeah.
And I'm about to turn 50 this year. So, but I'm so super grateful for those 2 encounters. And yeah, there might have been others too.
Definitely there were.
Yes. No, but it's mostly things about, enlightened moments or changing my personality to the better, because then I see as you see. It's like holding a mirror in front of my face, and I realize that I should not be like that.
Yeah.
I can also be.
And that tells you even more about how special Beckers is, because before you can be mirror for someone else, you need to clean your inside. You need to be able to face yourself and your demons and clean the motherfucking mirror just for others to be able to see themselves in you. So Beckers, thank you for that.
Yeah. Well, and another very important moment in life was when I finished school in Germany. We had to go to do the military service, or you could prove that you were not able, so you had to go to do social service instead. 13 months, and I choose to work for the Red Cross.
Oh, nice.
And I was driving elder people from their home to a therapy place after they had a stroke or a replacement of hip. So I was driving them in their wheelchair. But during 13 months, I created a relation to these people. And it helped me a lot in being understanding people in difficult situations, being social and able to help whenever you can.
Yeah.
Which is
so important.
It's a basic.
Yeah.
It's done out of life.
Yeah.
No, because we always say, it's social. So be social is bad because social is. No, it's not. Actually, it's the best you can be. Try always be a good person, stay with your feet on the ground and try to help the other next to you. If you see someone needs your hand or whatever, or if it's a coin or whatever, this is something that came to me very early, and that I have never left. Yeah.
So important, because as I see things, the moment you help someone, at the end of the day, you help yourself. We're all part of the same game. We all came from the same place. We all have, again, the same needs. I don't see a different, the only difference as I see it between me and you, let's say, is what life brought us through, So, okay, I was born in Israel, you were born in Germany. We talk different language, we come from the same places, but the values are the same values, the need to be loved, the want for your surroundings to just work. So, I want to talk fatherhood.
Fatherhood.
I want to talk fatherhood.
Let's have some more vodka first.
Definitely. The best vodka around. That's for sure. How do you mix family life with the certain schedule that you have?
Yeah, this is something I did not fail, but I was, as a father, not often home, so I did not really see my daughter grow. Now she's 14. Yesterday she was born like this, more or less. She lived with her mother in another country, in Argentina. And I'm separated from her mother since 9 years, maybe. Yeah, she was 4 or 5. So I cannot really say how is fatherhood. I see my daughter every 2-3 months. I fly to Argentina, try to stay with her, or she comes over in her school holidays and stays with me. So fatherhood for me is share a few days a year with my daughter, try to be a cool dad, try to make everything possible whenever she comes. Don't say no. She gets everything she asks for. I mean, she comes very well educated. She's good in school. She takes care of herself. And I don't need to be worried because I know her mother does a real good job, which, the credits go to her mother, definitely. But there's a lot of love from her to me and from me to her. And I know that she likes what I do. She looks up to me as well. But yeah, we had not enough time probably together.
Yeah, it makes sense, you know, and especially for such a sensitive guy, if I may say, like you know, it must be like, did you think that's the way it's going to go? Did you think, did you imagine yourself having a family before you had one?
No, that child was not planned. I mean, I was never against it, but it was also like, I mean, everything for me happened. I don't even know. I never planned from the boy who was 13 playing music on tapes until now. It was just like a ball that someone kicked and it's still rolling, you know, to the other side of the field.
Yeah.
And no one stopped this ball yet.
This ball cannot be stopped, man.
I remember the day her mother came and said, I'm pregnant. We have to do something. I said,
what's
that?
Yeah,
the baby's going to be. I said,
yeah.
No, the feeling was, and it was a great feeling. No, I was deeply in love and it was like everything was like in pink clouds and it was good. I was there. I took 10 months off before she was born, after. So I was there. We rented an apartment together in Argentina. No, I tried to be as good as possible as a father in that moment. Then later, when the baby was bigger and I started to travel again, yes, then, I mean, if you live from weekend to weekend, which is what we do as DJs.
Yeah.
We have Monday to Thursday to recover, and then Friday, Saturday we play. And yeah.
And were you always like good with this routine of like, if you are going to be this level of a DJ, you're probably going to travel like a year has 52 weeks. You're going to be traveling like 50. Yeah. So the schedule and of course, the bigger you get, the better the treatment gets. But can you recall some, not specific situations, but like the difference between being treated as a product at the start of your career and the treatment that you get nowadays? It must be earth and sky. Do you remember the start of your road, like being shipped from a country to a country, from hotel room to hotel room? Like it does something for the psyche of a person, right?
I think since we escaped East Germany in my young age, I have never really felt home anymore.
Oh, wow. That's a big one.
Yeah, because my parents couldn't tell us kids. It was a secret thing. You know, we had the secret police in East Germany.
Yeah.
So once the information was given from one to the other, it was too dangerous. So my parents didn't say no one. They just told us, get dressed. We go to vacations. And from that day, we never came home. But in that age, when you're 13, 14, it does something to you. Of course, you could not say goodbye. You could not take your toys. You could not take photographs, nothing. Everything was gone.
You were cut.
But I have never, ever had problems since then to sleep today here and to sleep tomorrow there, because home was gone. So for me, I know Frankie Beckers. We travel a lot together many years. He was always the one, he wanted to go home on Monday and never wanted to change his location. He still lives in the same city, in the same apartment since 20 years ago. While me, I have already moved my house at least 7 or 8 times. Yeah.
Sounds like you're yin and yang.
Yeah. Beside all the hotels. So, I mean, of course, it is exhausting. And I have a way to deal with it. I don't drink anymore. I have no habits to take other substances, which is good. So I don't have hangovers. I don't go to after parties. I did all of that. But nowadays, I mean, yeah,
you gotta take care of yourself.
It's what I do.
Yeah. You gotta take care of yourself, because you will, not specifically you, out there, guys. You will be consumed if you're gonna let this thing eat you, you will be consumed. And I know it of myself, and I know it of many other people that went through it. Everybody had this period. You want to be a part of it. You feel like everybody likes you. You go to all the after parties. You take everything that people say take. You do everything that people want to do because it's fun, because you get the attention, because your dopamine hits your brain like this, again, fentanyl, that's it, I'm loved, I'm accepted, let's do everything. And then you're getting distracted. And then when you understand that the reason they loved you was because what you are for them and not because who you are by yourself, that can be heartbreaking, because everybody wants to be the one taking the picture with the DJ and these days tagging and whatever, but they're not thinking about you when they do it. They're thinking about themselves. That's the whole rhythm of like, how many festivals did you go that suddenly you see yourself? I hope you're not. Yeah, but suddenly 12,000 phones up there, and it like completely changed the whole magic of everything.
Yeah. No, that's another new thing. Yeah, I have already spoken about this in some other interviews or podcasts. Yeah, well, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I for a long time I tried. I imagine that a better world without cell phones. I mean, I also use it.
Yeah.
But the thing with the phone and the social media, yes, it has gone too far. Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
The experience is just not.
The lack of attention is gone. People don't listen music anymore from the beginning to the end. People don't watch videos anymore from the beginning to the end. Mm-hmm. You can see when I post a video on Instagram, the attention time is like first 3 seconds of a video of 1 minute, and then people already switch to the next one. So we have people spend 3 seconds attention, 4 max, to something that me as a producer takes me a day or a week or 2 weeks in the studio to make. So I can be frustrated about it, or I can just accept it and still go back to my roots of being the DJ and playing music, the music I like, in parties where people call me to book me to come to Thailand from Brazil to play here my music and create in that moment my magic. So this is actually what I only wanted. All I ever wanted was play my music in front of people.
Yeah.
I only once wanted that. When I was like...
And look where we are, man.
So the whole thing, it's sad. People don't buy music anymore and all that, but still, I mean...
the whole scene changed. You could make a living based off making music and selling music and records and vinyls and everything. And suddenly, it's basically only shows these days, no? Either shows or views, like... Good luck earning a lot of money from Spotify or something like that. Yeah.
For me, has always been the shows, because I mean, I had so many releases, but I have to be honest, we never really had a management or someone who was like really into the whole licensing part, chasing the record labels for better deals. We just wanted to release our music, and we accepted pretty much any deal.
When did you open your label?
2000. It was after the towers came down, because the office, I remember the office where we created my record labels was where I saw the World Trade Towers come down. 2001, September, maybe 2002, 2003, around there, yeah.
And what was this process like? Like, what made you come to the conclusion that it's time for me to have my own?
No, I was working in that company, in that office building as an A&R. A&R is the person that selects music for a record label. There are different sectors: marketing, administration, bookkeeping, graphic, and a person that listens to all the demos and decides, okay, this fits to the label and this doesn't fit to the label. So they asked me to do the job. I did the job, and the girl who was doing the graphic, she recommended me some year later, why don't you do your own record label? Call it Sprout Music. She had the name, she had the logo. I said, yeah, let's do it. For me, it was, again, just, I always went with the
Let's
flow. Did
I
you
like
think
this
about it?
attitude.
Do I need to know about something running a record label? I don't know shit. I know how to play DJ sets, but should not be too difficult. And it was difficult because it was all on vinyl. So you had to print, you had to do different masters, you had to make covers, you had to decide how many copies, you had to have a distributor. Anyway, so 2002, 2003 around, I started my record label Sprout Music, which today is only digital. Yeah, we don't do CDs or vinyls anymore.
Yeah, these days people do CDs and vinyls only as an add-on or like to commemorate something that is like, okay, it's a special one. It's 20 years for the label. It's 15 years for the artist. It's 10 years for, let's do a remaster. Let's do something. Then it's like, comes like as this surprise thing. Okay, let's make it vinyl, let's make it physical. But most of this era, most of the companies are 100% digital.
No, the events I play, the only time I see a DJ playing vinyl is the German DJ Sven Weth. You know him. He comes here sometimes. But this is 1 in 1,000.
Yeah.
So
because it's a hustle to fucking, play these days on vinyls. It's a hustle when you can just plug a CD, like a USB
stick,
and have like 12,000 tracks on it, but yeah, I will not say if it's better or worse because it is what it is. Those are the times that we live in.
It is. Yeah, it is what it is. He is good in what he does with his vinyls and he feels safe on it. I could not imagine to go back on playing vinyls.
Oh no.
I did that for more than a decade. It was heavy to carry 2 boxes every weekend from my car.
You need a personal assistant.
Yeah, no, these days DJs have personal assistants to plug a USB stick.
It's all coming ready. Just press play.
Yeah. No, I prefer to travel alone.
By yourself.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes I have a road manager with me in Brazil, especially, and in the end of the day, I have to look after my road manager.
Yeah.
He's the one who wakes up late. He's the one who makes me miss my flight. For what? For to plug a USB stick, right?
Why Brazil?
It has been my main market for many, many years, and I became tired of going forth and back from Germany to Brazil. Also, my daughter, she lives in Argentina, which is also very close. So I was like, and I love Brazil. I mean, the country is beautiful. Sorry. The country is beautiful. Beaches, people are friendly. I love the food, the weather, and I get along with them and the country. I feel just good there, and I speak the language.
Again, very good. Like I was surprised.
And yeah, I mean, I have reasons now. I have a relation now.
Do you feel home in Brazil?
I have actually, yes, I have my home there.
It was super sharp. I felt the energy when you said like, I don't feel home anymore. Do you think home is a physical place or home is a feeling?
No, it's a safe haven, right? Like where your home is where your heart is.
Yeah.
And this is what I follow actually. Makes it easier for me to change and go on the weekend on tour and say, okay, today I stay here in Phuket and tomorrow in Koh Phangan and next tomorrow in Bangkok. But then now with age, I'm also looking forward to come home and sleep in my bed.
Yeah, that makes sense. And like, do you see yourself DJing when you're 70? Like, where,
There was a time when I was 30, I said, okay, I have another 10 years, maybe as a DJ. Then I was 40. Then I said, I have another 5 to 10 years. Now I'm almost 50 and I don't see an end. No, for me to go there and to play is...
This is you. This is
and I wouldn't know what else to do. I wouldn't know.
What would you do these days? Hobbies, anything? Like, guide me through the mental psyche of D-Nox, of course. What's going on there?
Yeah.
Okay, we all know you love to DJ.
Yeah, but then, okay, I have the record label. I like to produce music.
Yeah, but like knitting, swimming, surfing.
No. But, well, I go boxing twice a week. I love to cook. and then the week is already over. I don't collect stamps anymore. I don't have fishes.
What keeps someone like you as passionate, if not more, over 35 years at the craft? Like the moment I'm asking this question for almost everyone that is doing one thing for a long time, because
what do they say? Because I have to say again, I feel like this is something inside me. This is not many can have that. So I feel like I was born with something inside me that makes me be that person in that moment with that art that I do, the way I do, how I connect with the dance floor. My sets are never planned, for example.
yeah.
So whenever I come to a party, I need to read the crowd. I don't know even how to start my set.
Yeah, you don't go with like, usually when people do this kind of thing that they don't know what they play, at least they come with the first one.
Yeah.
I know I'm going to start. I'm going to put this and go from there.
Yeah.
You come to the decks, you choose something and you run.
Yeah. So I used my experience of 30 years or more and read the crowd. Of course, listen to the previous DJ and start to think about what could be a good transitions to bring me to where I want to go. Doesn't work always, but in most cases it does. And
how do you define if it works or not?
No, I can see the dance floor, how it reacts, how we grow together, how we connect together. And of course, it's how I mix the tracks, how the tracks fit together. All that is there's many aspects. It's like an energy, pure energy that comes back to me. In many cases, when I finish play, I have to just go and sit down, because then I feel like sucked out.
Yeah.
Because I give everything to the crowd, and the crowd takes everything.
Yeah.
They also give it to me. But like for 3-4 hours, this exchange is like washing clothes, to sit down first and breathe and come back again. Then my back starts to hurt maybe, or wow, man, it was intense. But when it's like this, it was like when it was really good.
Something about it feels like the only home you truly have is the decks.
Yeah.
It's like, it's
actually it is. Yeah.
Unbelievable, like, and when you asked what are their answer to all the people that are doing one thing for a long time, it's exactly like that. Nobody knows where passion actually come from. We all have the want to be passionate towards something. We all want to have this thing that is unique to us. But at the end of the day, do I know where passion comes from? Fuck no, And what was the longest set you ever played?
The longest set, I remember one very long set of 12 hours in Switzerland in the mountains that I never forget. I started Sunday morning at 6 and finished Sunday afternoon at 6. And remember that because usually in the morning is when the birds sing, right?
Yeah.
When you wake up in the morning, you open your window or your house and you hear the birds singing, and it's what a nice, pleasant moment. And I was like, oh man, now you have to disturb the birds singing. But then when I finished 12 hours later, it was the time when they start singing again.
That's beautiful.
And I was like, okay, they're still here.
At least they believe.
No, but normally my standard is 3 hours per contract. I don't play sets be less than 2 hours. I did now Lollapalooza 45 minutes, and
45 minutes? Who plays 45 minutes these days?
Yeah, in those festivals like Lollapalooza, like these big festivals with rock bands and stuff like that.
They give 45 minutes?
They make a break of 15 minutes between the DJs, so empty dance floor, then you start again.
Every hour?
Every DJ, 15 minutes break, and then another DJ.
I haven't heard about it.
This is Lollapalooza. It's a huge festival from the United States that they tour in Brazil and Argentina, and they had Billie Eilish playing and many artists, bands. They have an electronic stage. And I did that because I thought I need to do that once in my lifetime to get the fame and the hype. They didn't get anything, no? I could take my daughter. She was 12 by then, and we could watch Billie Eilish and some bands. And so we had like this father-daughter thing, which was way better than playing. But my standard is 3 hours or if not 4 to 5 hours, if I can get to it.
Yeah, it's like, it feels like, do you think it's because you're taking time to like warm
exactly.
up?
Oh, yeah.
Or do you want
Also to, there's so many tracks I want to play and have, and often I forget them, even my own tracks. So you go through your folders and you always want to play new tracks and you want to please the crowd. And then it comes a moment you get connected, more confident, and you go further. Then you want to turn to the right. And then suddenly you discover yourself, you be more like, maybe in more like a disco direction. Funky 70s, 80s sort of. And then you're like, then the 80s, and then how you want to come back, maybe go from there back to more house or techno, whatsoever. And then you're stuck there. And then all of a sudden you end up being in the breakbeat folder. And then you come back to, and still you have to play some of my tracks. And then you come to the D-Nox and Beckers folder here and there. And I discover so many things while I play, and as more time as I have, as more I discover. And then
it's all about the journey.
It's all about the moment, the journey, yeah.
And let's talk music production, because as someone that makes music for 20 years ish,
yeah, well, with Beckers, yes.
What do you think is the biggest change from making music 20 years ago to making music today?
The biggest change is the technology.
Yeah.
No doubt, of course. Yeah. I started producing music on an Atari computer, on the sampler, and the synthesizer. Now we work in Ableton. We hardly don't use any external gear. We have everything inside the computer. We have a good sounding room. We have Adam speakers. And that's basically it. I mean, the rest is creativity. Myself at home, I don't produce much. And if I always use, I have like 5 plugins, which I use on synthesizers, which give me enough input to work on ideas, which I don't take to the studio of Beckers to be developed or to someone else's studio.
Yeah.
This is my process. I'm still like a DJ. First place, producer, second place. I know how to produce. I make that all. I like it, but I'm not the guy who finish a track. Because then I have a lack of confidence. Yeah. Mixing, making sure the bass, the kick, the volumes, left and right, all of that. The frequencies. Another thing that is lacking is my knowledge about harmonies, of course. I don't really know how to play the piano, the keyboard.
Like music theory, notes.
It takes me time to figure out, okay, even if there is no scales function in Ableton and stuff like this.
An AI synthesizer.
And no, I don't have any AI yet.
Yeah, you wouldn't imagine what those things are doing. It's unbelievable. Like, unbelievable to the point that, like, it's tasteless anymore. Yeah, it's a huge debate these days. Like AI and the thing that you can put a prompt and a computer will just bring you melodies and bring you like.
I don't want that. I mean, it's there. It's going to be taking over.
It's already
now. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't want to let that creative thing go away from me, because if I want to make music, which is not every day, if I have time, I want to do it the way that I can still speak to the machine, and they give me that what I hopefully I'm seeking for. Yeah.
There are engines today that you can put 7 to 8 tracks of D-Nox, and it will bring you a new track that was never listened to by D-Nox, and that's scary. Yeah. And that's scary because the fingerprint of the artist has less and less meaning these days, because an artist can die tomorrow, and people will put his entire discography into an AI engine and it will just go. And it's eternal. You can make as many as you want. So and from the other side, I'm asking, okay, so what's the problem with it? Like, it's the fact that things can change from being limited to being limitless. Why do we take it as a?
You know what? I don't want to talk about this. No, I can talk about it. I don't want to think about it. because it's actually, I mean, it's there, but at the same time, it's
The more
sad.
attention we put
It's sad.
towards it.
There's almost soul. You can feel, you can hear, you know, I mean, it's not the same. But it's going to be...
Again, I'm not saying anything bad about it, you know?
No, me too. I'm not, but I just prefer to exclude it as long as possible.
Yeah. And
To
especially
enjoy what I do the way I do. Yeah.
And as someone that's been there for the data cards and for the Atari and for the samplers with the vinyls, and you've seen everything change, of course you're gonna have this thing about, oh, okay, like, it's so easy these days.
Yeah. It's very easy. The whole thing became very easy. If you have money, you buy yourself a career. You buy followers. You make content. You pay for the campaign.
Yeah.
You pay people that maybe work for you. Everything has become easier. Yeah, definitely. I know,
but at least we have the hope and the understanding that you cannot fake authenticity. You cannot fake good energy.
Exactly.
You cannot fake those things. And at the end of the day, you can lie to yourself and whatever.
If your career as DJ is bored in social media or in TikTok because you have millions of followers, but then is the moment you have to go to stage and you have to play for the crowd and you have to make them dance and you don't even know how to play because you don't have the background or the knowledge, or you're just not capable to mix two tracks together. Yeah, the moment of truth.
Yeah.
And if you're not authentic, then it's also, I mean, few DJs I find authentic. Few.
And do you want to give some compliments? Give them some compliments. Tell them who they are.
No, we don't. We don't drop any names, but I think everyone knows also that you can see when someone is loving it and doing it from the heart.
Yeah,
definitely.
100%. You can feel, and you are one of them. You know,
how many DJs we see the videos, the big videos, they always appear on our algorithm, our Instagram.
Yeah.
And you see two DJs there, not even talking, looking at each other, not smiling anymore, playing like this, back to back, like literally back to back, because, you know, using two computers to mix two tracks together.
That's why I liked so much about your sets, because you look like you're having so much fun. Like, you know, you're dancing, you're up there, and you're like, okay, that's the energy I want to feel.
Yeah, that's my moment, exactly.
Yeah. Do you have an environment or a place or an event that you want to play that you didn't have the chance yet?
I would still love to go to Burning Man. It's on my bucket list. But for the experience itself. And
let's arrange it. Go to Burning Man. What's the...
Yeah. I will do. Not this year, but I will figure out when I will do. It's not that easy. I have to organize well. You need to take 2 weeks off.
You've done much harder things.
No.
Come on.
No. You did the army in Israel. This is harder.
Yeah.
No. It's a bit of organizing, and I also don't want to go alone. So you need to find the right people that go with you, share with you, and
I have a great camp for you. I'm gonna hook you up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then no, actually I have pretty much
like volcanoes and mountains and like one of those circle sets, you know, that they're doing in crazy places and like...
Yeah, well, if Circle is watching, I would love to be invited by you guys and record a set on the Niagara Falls, or...
You heard it here first, guys. We're gonna make it happen.
Yeah, or here in some small rocky island next to KohPhanCast, God knows where. No, of course, I would be honored to join a production like this. But I have played more than 70 countries. And my vacations I do home. And I have another 12 shows this month only.
Oh, wow. Do you remember?
15, 3 down. Today will be 1 more down, so 11 left tomorrow.
And it's just like, another Tuesday. Let's go. 11 shows, 1 month.
No, this is a special thing. No. This is really like tough. schedule. I usually play 6 to 8 if I can choose.
Do you remember one show that was like mind expanding, crazy?
Oh, there were too many. That's a problem. and my problem is when I have this feeling and I turn around and I go to my friends or my girl or to my booker and say, today was the best show of my life. And then they tell me, but you told me the same last weekend. No, I have that very often because when I have the feeling of pure connection to the crowd, then for me, this is the golden moment. It doesn't matter if it's in Brazil on the beach or in Tel Aviv in the club or I don't know. The places doesn't matter actually. But I had a few. But I would need another hour maybe to dig about it. Yeah. So.
And I think that's where the magic comes from. Because at the end of the day, as I think that the magic is in the eye of the beholder. Oh, go for it.
Boom Festival 2022.
Mm-hmm.
There's a video on YouTube on my channel, but that moment was truly epic and above anything that I felt before.
What about it?
I did not do any magic. The music was the way
I'm going to have some people that will say much different.
In my opinion, in the moment, because I remember I had some struggling hearing the right timing with the return speakers.
Oh, wow.
So the mixing was a little bit off in some places. The sun came through the roof. I didn't really see what was written on the display. But the dance floor reacted in a way that I have never seen on the trance party, maybe since that time at Woo Festival 2003. Like full tribe, like a horde of buffaloes running through the savannah in Africa. Like,
yeah, that's a good depiction.
And that on the psytrance festival with 125 BPM.
Yeah. It's all in the people. It's all in the. It doesn't have to be fast for it to be deep.
Not at all.
It's not like it's like it doesn't have to be loud in order to hit right.
It's also not loud, exactly.
Like we can talk about this for another 2 hours. Like the war of
true, authentic moment.
Yeah,
a connection, timing, energy. If you have these planets aligned, then you can't go wrong. Yeah.
And what I started saying was that the magic is the amount of experiences that you went in your career from start. It will probably never finish, you're here to stay. And it's amazing to see people that like are so into what they're doing, and so fulfilled by the things that do good to them. And just having you giving this amount of energy and lighting people's day, because I've heard from not one, not two, not three, not 10 different people, Boom Festival 2022, Alchemy, your set was probably one of the best over there. And the feeling that you felt, probably they felt as well, So in behalf of their names, I'm going to say thank you. And I want to thank you for this, bro, because it was an amazing experience for me as well.
Have you been there? No.
22? No, I've been to 18.
18, yeah.
And you performed at 18, right? Yeah.
No, 14, I think, before that.
14 and then 22?
22, 23, and now again, yeah.
24, you're doing, like 25, you're doing again. So we're probably going to meet there. Probably. Mm-hmm.
I'm going.
Yeah, I'm going to take my canoe.
You're leaving tomorrow. But a good thing you arrive in Portugal directly on the coast.
Yeah, I'm going to use my Google Maps.
Go through the Suez Canal.
I'm going to do my best, man.
No, it would be nice to meet you there. And I don't know if we come to an end because I have to play today.
Yeah, you are playing in an hour.
Yeah, so.
And we're going to go there soon. So again, I want to thank you so much for this, Chris.
We wrap it up.
Yeah.
I want to appreciate too. I mean, guys, whoever's watching me, us here, it's been a long ride and I enjoyed every bit of it. And thanks for being part of my life. I love you all. And as he said, there's another 10 to 20 years to come.
At least the dude is going to be walking on stage.
Yeah, I will probably die on the DJ bass. Yeah.
Which, honestly,
It's not-
having a funeral with like 30K people, at the festival, why the fuck not?
Yes.
KohPhanCast, guys.
KohPhanCast.
Thank you so much.
Toda. Thank you.
Thank you.
Join the journey, stay for a while.